What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Run It Up. Something new and different today as we are playing a $40 sit and go on ultimatepoker.com. You guys had asked me to fire up some more sit and goes, so here we are. I think the first thing we can talk about is that a player has already busted. We've only played 2 or maybe 3 hands, and the player already busted to this guy, but I wasn't paying attention because I was setting up the recording. So it's a mystery to me how that happened, but the good news is all we need to do is survive 3 more players and we'll be in the money. That's cool. So the old Texas Colonel, unfortunately, out in 7th, but we have 6 players remaining. I haven't probably played a online sit and go since the last time you guys saw me play an online sit and go. I did play a live sit and go not that long ago. I played a $35 buy-in satellite to the Ultimate Poker $200 buy-in live series event that we held a few days ago. It was actually held last Saturday, and yeah, I won that satellite. So there's that. That's cool. This guy opens under the gun here. It's one of the guys I recognize the most. We could call or raise. I think both are okay. I think folding is also perfectly reasonable and viable. And I guess that's what I'm going to do for now. JCarver. That's right. Just knit it up. That's right. That looks like I'm eating pasta a little bit. It's eating pasta. Okay. Anyway, so actually, funny story about that tournament. I'm not sure how many of you guys know this story because it didn't really hit the interwebs. But so I show up at actually prior to the live event, I actually was kind of talking smack on Twitter to Antonio. And the Moon Girl chimed in, you know, like, I want some too. And I was like, all right, we can just do a last longer against everybody now. Whatever. Let's just do it. So we show up the day of the event, and it's a $200 buy-in. So it's obviously not the biggest stakes game in town here. But anyway, I wanted to play. I was excited. I always put in my A game when I come to play those things. And so I wanted to make a little bit of slide, but so let's make it more interesting. You know, let's play for more. So I challenged Antonio to a prop bet, but for various reasons, he feels like he cannot play his best tournament poker that day. So he decides to choose Dan as his champion in our prop bet. So me and Antonio make a bet for $25,000 on a must-win bet, me versus Dan. And I also end up taking a bet with Dan that we will pay each other 100% of the other person's cashes. And I make a deal with the Moon Girl that I'll pay her 60% of her cashes in exchange for her paying 50% of my cashes. So we played for a little bit more. Unfortunately, I didn't make it through the first 2 hours of the tournament, and Dan made the final table. So this is actually a great story because you guys just saw both of these guys in studio. Really interesting turn card here, by the way. I mean, you know, this hands of poker, I guess that's going on as well. I don't think betting is the right play. I think we got to start with a check and then make a decision. If it goes check, that's awesome. We could definitely have the best hand, not always, but we do sometimes. If he bets a lot here, I'll be tempted to just fold, but I don't think we can fold just yet. We beat all the single 8s, pocket 9s, pocket 10s, 10-9, all those hands. So I think we got to peel here once on the turn and see what happens from here. 8 makes me feel like it'll go check sometimes, because if we have a king, we're certainly not going to be expected to fold. If he ships it on us on this river, I think we just say, you got it. I think he just has it too much, and I think if he just has like 10-9, I don't think that hand feels like it can bluff here, given once we call turn, I feel like he probably shuts down. Same thing if he had like 2 10s or 2 9s, you know. I don't really think that at this point we have the best hand, so I guess that means we fold. We could have folded on turn, but I think getting 3-1 on the turn with a hand as good as second pair, when this guy can have hands that are certainly worse than that. He's thinking about showing. When you have hands that are certainly worse than that, I think is okay. Anyway, so I bust in an hour and a half in this tournament, and Antonio busts before me, though, thankfully. So that doesn't really hurt me, though, very much. And then D-Moon busts, and then I go home and whatever, because Dan's still got like 40 or 50 players left to get through. And I get a text that Dan makes the final table. So he's down to 10, and all of a sudden I have a sweat here. He's like 7th of 10, and I text Antonio, hey, Dan's down to 10. Maybe we should talk about a buyout, because I don't really want to lose $25,000. I really don't want to, as that would be kind of pretty painful. Plus losing it to Antonio through Dan, of all things, it would have been pretty tilting. But thankfully, Antonio was at the boxing fight, Mayweather and Maidana, and he thus didn't feel his phone go off. And a couple minutes later, Dan goes out 8th. And Antonio sees his phone momentarily after that. So that was my weekend of fun prop bet action. Let's make it 142. That's what I decided to raise. I raised it up. 142 chips. Could have also min-raised. That also would be fine. I think limping is the worst choice. I mean, I guess folding would be the worst choice. But I guess if you're going to play the hand, I think limping would be the worst way to play it. One defender here in the blinds. Interesting flop. I actually think I'm going to check this one back. Not something that I always do, but I feel like once in a while it can't be too bad to check these boards back. I think we're going to make not too many mistakes, you know. Turn queen and king are the worst two cards, certainly, for us. But I still don't intend on folding, certainly not to a minimum bet. He could have us beat with either a jack or a 10, but I think we have either, we have probably outs to at least a 9 and 8 or maybe a queen. Like some of those have to be good, especially getting 6-1. And we have the best hand sometimes too, which is also cool. For 60 more on the river here, you know, I don't really think that we win this very often. He could definitely have hands at just like a single jack or a 10, but I think our hand is good enough to just call and not to raise, so I guess that's what we're going to do. I certainly don't think we win that very often, like I said, but getting 60 to win 400, I feel like we'll win that often enough. Wow, that's a big level jump. I guess I should have looked at the structure before I played this tournament, because I did not anticipate that we would be playing 60-120 this quickly. But in alternative news, we have another game that has just started. I'm sitting actually at a bunch of tables, which is not something I usually do. And if we lose this this sit and go, I guess we will go to this other game, which is about as far from a sit and go as Ultimate Poker can offer. I'll let you guys chew on what that could be for a second. And, everybody is kind of short. We're only in for 60. He's never folding. We just want to get it in with ace-6? I think not. I think not. I guess I could load this other table up, or I could just sit out at this other table as well, I guess. But sitting out doesn't seem very fun. So I'm actually, I guess we'll just play this sit and go out, and I won't even talk about this second table. I'll just like silently two-table. I guess I haven't done a very good job of that. Good job on the silence, JCarver. All right, cool your jets, kid. I guess I'm all in. 10-7 offsuit on the button. Sometimes they fold through. Sometimes they call, and we're like a 2-1 dog. I mean, sit and go poker seems like it's fine. I'm all in. I've got the 10 and the 7, and they're the same color, and you're Richard Nixon getting less than 2-1. Something like that. I had an awesome day today. It was not my usual Thursday of events today. That is the day I'm... Oh. Brutal. Punish him. Come on. Let's have it come queen 4. Queen and 4 is all I want here. Okay. 4 ball. 7 would be even sweeter, of course. 10s and deuces queen. That's fine. That's fine with me. Let's run. That's more than fine with me. So today was not my normal Thursday. Why was not my normal Thursday? I got a message a few weeks ago from a run-it-up warrior who was coming to town to be on Pawn Stars. And he said, "Hey, JCarver, would you like to go on Pawn Stars with me?" And I said, heck yes. So I got to head on down to the Pawn Stars pawn shop and get some behind-the-scenes action, look around, meet the guys. I met Corey, got to see the old man from a distance. You know, they keep him in some sort of a vat, actually, I think is what you call it. So it was actually really cool. Got to walk all the way around behind the scenes, meet some of the cool things, see some of the production stuff. I always enjoy that stuff. Like when I got to do that last year with Fox Sports and UFC Tonight, it was so cool. So cool. I've only seen like 200 episodes of Pawn Stars, so it was pretty neat to go down. And to go down as just like a straight up tourist is like, you know, there's a line that wraps around the way. The place is not that big. You can't go in the back. You're not really brought in. But with going as part of the show is a whole different experience, obviously. It was really, really fun. And thank Jesse for doing that. Met Jesse, by the way, through or at the Run It Up Reno event last May. We made a post a couple days ago with the set over set and all that. I mean, not in reality, but at least he has an out. That's cool. In other words, in the other world, by the way, I'm never going to remember what I'm going to talk about, what I was talking about. I'm going to be all in here on the other table with 2 7s for my own sweet JCarver money, just playing 5-10 over here, casually getting it in with 2 7s, hopefully flipping. Oh, we don't know. Oh, brutal. Couldn't even get back in time to see that we're not doing good in that flip there. Oh, hello. All right. Who needs to play $10 or $40 sit and goes, whatever this is? Let's just play 5-10. You know, who needs sit and go poker? You can just play $5, $10. I guess we will switch to 5-10 if I don't win with this ace-10 here. So let the fates decide. Shall we play some 5-10 no limit or some more $40 sit and go? Looking good. Looking good for the sit and go. All you guys out there that want to see cash games are just like rooting for a 9 so bad. But no, not for you, I'm afraid. I guess assuming that we don't win the sit and go, I will slide this little table over. But I guess either way, we can kind of do this as like a 2-part session. The classic $40 sit and go into the 5-10 session. You know, boy, I actually think. I'm not sure. I think this is a fold. I feel like because it's so much of our stack, 520 more. You know, I guess we're getting 2-1, which is cool, but I guess we fold this. I mean, it seems really close, but I think it's okay. Yeah, I think if we had king deuce, we would call. King deuce suited, especially, we would call. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's okay to fold there. It too cripples us to just put basically all of our stack in with jack deuce. If we had like jack 8 suited, I think we would call. If that's the case, then there's probably at least one other suited jack we would call with, like jack 7 maybe. I don't know. Something like that. What were we just talking about? Talking about Pawn Stars, production, going to see Chael and Friends last year. That was cool. And I don't know. I got nothing. We'll have to just make our own. We make our own luck. That's right. Let's play some 5-10 while we're waiting for the sit and go to get its life together. I've raised here on the button for $20, and I'll be betting another $20 here on the flop. I don't have very much. Shh. Unfortunately, he must have heard us, because here we are now on the turn. So I've actually played this guy a decent amount before, and I think I'm actually all in with jack 5, because folding to us with a jack on the button, big blind can't call us super widely. Anyway, I'm going to give up here. I played this guy enough times that I think he won't believe me, although I guess he has to have something pretty decent to not believe me. Jack 5, fair fight. Wow, very less fair fight. Going to need some middling cards. That was not going to do it. All right, well, we lost $40 for run it up, and off to the 5-10 table as we go. Yeah, I don't think he was folding that hand particularly. So I guess we're going to play a 5-10 session on my own dime. It's like high stakes Tuesdays. I don't even know what day of the week it is for you. It's hard for me to know what day of the week it is for me. Never mind what day of the week it is for you. So I'm in for this table for 500, and our opponent is in for a little bit more than that. I don't think I stacked him. I think one of us was shorter stacked, but I'm in for 500 for sure. I was thinking about betting out on this turn, but I actually think that almost always when he checks back on a flop like this and the board pairs on turn, he's probably not folding on the turn, right? I actually think this might be a cool spot to bluff. I actually have tried to bluff pot in this spot more often, where it's just way more likely that we could have a 5 or a 4, or like, you know, because there are so many hands we could bet here for value. I don't think he always folds, but I think that we are much more likely to have it than he does. I also don't think he's ever seen me do a bluff like that before, so I thought that might work. It didn't, but it basically only cost us a sit and go to try. So there's that. You know, that's why poker is great. You just forget about the relative scale of things. That's just, you know, irrelevant. It's all about just the cage is one size fits all. You can just expand the cage based on the stakes that you're playing for. So I feel like at least some of you guys would prefer for me to play some play for run it up money than play for my own money. But I've been sitting at 2 PLO tables for a few hours now and have not got action. I don't know if people are just like afraid of my PLO game, which is obviously not really the case, or if there's just not enough PLO players here in Nevada, which is much more likely the case. So I guess I can look at Hold'em tables, but let's just play some 5-10. Whatever. Let's just have some fun and play some 5-10. I'm not going to try to bluff here. Obviously, we could, but, you know, I think he too often just has a jack or a king, doesn't fold, and we're just dead. I could try the $40 river bet again. We just tried to bluff like this. Maybe he'll believe us this time. Or not. I actually don't think he'll believe us this time either, but it's possible we could have it, right? Like, it's possible. Our cards together, combined, add up for more than 10. Sorry, I knew that wasn't going to go well as soon as I couldn't think of a joke to go with it. I knew as soon as the joke started not going well. Just hanging out, playing some 5-10. All right, I guess that means I can move the camera any which way. All right, let's put it there for now. Let's see if we can do some work here. Let's see if we can run up some of my own money today. This guy's probably like, why are you talking to me? Sorry, bud, not talking to you. So I think it's okay just to fold this. I feel like against this fella, I'm trying to think back to the last time that I had played with him, and my memory these days is so goldfish-like. It is unreal. I really don't remember anything. I remember playing with him for a while. I don't remember if I won or if he won. I feel like neither of us was hurt too badly. I feel like we were playing 5-10, so that much is true. In this hand, I could check raise or check call. I've actually been experimenting with check raising more in this spot, and I've really been liking it, but I think I like calling here in this exact instance for some reasons. We could talk about what those reasons are. You can talk about what those reasons are on the runup.com forums. We have recently tried to do things differently, so if you would like to go check that out, you should. I also think that there was something else we were talking about earlier. The Reno video? Did we talk about the Reno video? Oh yeah, that's where I met Jesse, who I came to Pawn Stars with today. We surely must win. Surely. What? Oh, what a nit. What a nit. How do we lose that hand? That was crazy. So yeah, I actually met Jesse at our first Reno event back in May, and that's the guy who invited me to come to Pawn Stars. So that's how that little life circle connects. If you'd like to hear how my whole life circle connects, I did a very, very in-depth interview with Remco Renkema from igaming.org. We had two long conversations on the phone, and they were probably the most intimate interview that definitely that I have ever done. Maybe that I will ever do. Should we try bluffing again? We're just like 0 for 3 if we lose this one too. But once again, I mean, maybe he folds sometimes. We do have the bottom of our range here, right? I mean, surely he'll fold single hearts, 4-7 sometimes. Okay, all right. I think this little session experiment thing has gone on for almost just long enough. I don't know what to say about this session. I feel like I've had a lot of gumption that just hasn't worked out too well for us. We played a sit and go. That didn't work out too well. Oh my god, I just want to 4-bet this guy so badly. He's gonna just 5-bet in our face, right? He's been 3-betting us so often. All right, giving him another $130. God, he can just shove so easily though. I'm wrapping this session up momentarily. This is going to be one of those one and done run it up sessions where I like try to play a sit and go, try to play some cash. Nothing really works, but we have some fun, right? We talked, we laughed. You laughed at me. We laughed together a little bit. It was fun, I suppose. I like playing for my own money for Run It Up every once in a while because I feel not that there's like pressure to play for Run It Up money, you know, but there's like the expectations of, you know, I mean, it's so much more fun to play on my own money. We just click buttons and, you know, whatever happens, happens. Oh my God. I was hoping if I didn't stop talking that he would just get in there, but these people are too good. It's too good. Am I streaming right now? How sick would that be if I was actually streaming and he was just looking at my cards the whole time and just owning me that way? That would be something. That would be something. Anyway, if you haven't checked them out, I'm going to link to the articles that Remco did with me in the description below, and you can also check those out. Let's try making a pot. You can also check those out over at igaming.org, and I've been linking them all on my Twitter and Facebook. You can check those out as well. Should I just go through everything? You can check out on Twitter, twitter.com/JasonSomerville, facebook.com/JCarverPoker, instagram.com/JCarverPoker, runitup.com, shop.runitup.com. Oh my God, this is horse status right here. This is hashtag horse status. Is that a good hashtag? Nah. That's really not that great, honestly. That's really kind of a pathetic hashtag. Sorry, that's not how space and time and dimensions work, I guess. Check raise? God, I feel like we've been getting owned so badly that I don't really want to check raise, but I mean, I also don't want to check fold, so I guess that means we'll call. I think I should have just check raised this guy. I think sometimes when you just like, you have the wall and you just hit the wall like 6 times, eventually you just like are afraid to hit the wall, but you have to try in poker. And I feel like maybe I've tried too little after the first couple. I maybe tried too many times for no reason and then gave up too much after that. Do we win with our ace high? Okay, at least the good guys took that one down. So let's play for another few minutes. I don't really know. I'm not really in a rush or anything, and we'll just click some buttons and try to win some money, That's really what running up is all about, though, isn't it? Yeah, I guess so. So, by the way, the sit-and goes down to 2 players. And exciting news. Do you want me to switch back over to that so I can just cast that through the end? Oh, look out, everyone. I don't know if you guys can see my hands, but it's very exciting. Oh, look out, everyone. The sit-and-go is finishing. This has been a little bit of a bizarre run-up episode. I feel like we haven't had too many of these because for the most part this season, I've really just been able to like record as I've wanted to at my own whim and whimsy, and today I was like, you know what? I really need to record today. I needed to, and I just was like, okay, I'll just play whatever. And then this is what happens. We play a $40 sit and go and 5-10 no limit. The classic combo, really. I've got 2 pair at this point, by the way, flashing back to this hand of poker that I suppose we're playing here. I'm a little concerned by this large bet from this fella here on the turn, but there's no way I can fold just yet. I mean, my hand is way too likely to be the best hand. I might end up not having the best hand, but I believe as of right now, I am pretty likely to. I'm going to start with a check on the river. If it goes check, check, we for sure, or at least are very likely to win. And if he bets, well, we have a decision to make. He bets the pot, the full pot. He bets the pot. What to do? So, he could have hands like King 10, 10-9, Ace 10, diamonds. He could have Ace Queen, King Queen, Queen 10, Queen 9, maybe even like worse queens sometimes. You could have pocket queens, pocket jacks, pocket sixes. He could have, that's about it, I think. I think it's about it. I don't think he ever has like ace jack. I don't think he ever has ace ace or king king. He could, but don't think he has those too often. The question is given all those hands, do we win this half or risking 250 to win 500, right? So do we win this enough of the time to show a profit? I'm not sure. I'm not really sure about this one. I actually am really not sure what we should do here. I think we're going to call. I think we win this often enough. I mean, we've been smacked around a lot. He could be bluffing. We lose, obviously, to Queen X and stuff like that, but sometimes we just win. That's right. Sorry for the slow roll, buddy. I just, sometimes you get slapped around so much. Like you get the trout smacked around in your face so many times, you're just a little gun shy, Just a little. I guess I'm going to keep playing this game after all. I know I said I was going to just quit, but I actually am kind of enjoying this. So I think what we're going to do is we will call a pause to this video here. I think this is right around the 30-minute mark. Yeah, the tournament's been playing for 25 minutes, so yeah. I guess that actually means we have like 5 minutes to go this episode because I started when this started, so the sit and go actually helps me out. Boom. I'm going to try making a small re-raise here. This is not something that I always do. In fact, I don't think you guys have ever seen me make a raise under 3x the size of the open like this, but I think I like experimenting with things like this. I've been experimenting with making it even smaller, making it like 48 over his 22. And just seeing how he reacts to that. We've talked a lot in the past about like establishing certain things as like, just to see what happens and stuff. And because some people make mistakes, you don't know what people are weak to until you put them in that situation and see if they're weak to it. So I'm obviously going to go with this hand. He only has, $440. So I'm very happy to put those in the middle. Fair fight. Going to need some help here. How about a deuce of hearts? That was less fun than the deuce of hearts. Gonna need the old ace or the queen. Not this time. We did make 2 pair, but not the 2 pair we were looking for. 3 pair does beat 2 pair anyway, so fair enough. He does get that pot there. Maybe we'll wrap this session in 4 minutes. Anything can happen. This is like grab bag Tuesdays. Whatever day of the week this even is. I don't even know what day of the week it is right this minute. Never mind. I guess I do know today was Thursday because I had Pawn Stars. If I didn't have that on my schedule for 3 weeks, then I wouldn't know what day it was. This hand, we're certainly going to win this hand. There's no way in heck we don't win this hand. So what did he have? He had 8s when we made the raise last time? All right, let's see what happens if we make a 48. Let's see what happens on this experimental Wednesdays, or whatever this is. He just folds. You see what I mean? That's crazy. That is crazy. Crazy. You can spell it C-R-A-Z if you want to know how to write that out, in case you're curious. Like, it's crazy. He makes it 22. I make it 48. He has to call 26 to win, I believe, $1 billion. And he has position. You know, you got to call there with almost anything you're opening with. There are obviously some hands you can fold, you know, like the 9-3s of the world. There are some hands you can fold. But in my opinion, you know, if you're going to raise, you gotta have some stick-to-itiveness. That's right. How is it even a real word? Stick-to-itiveness. That is a real word, right? In the dictionary, after like stick-to-itiveness, isn't that a real English dictionary word? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm sure you guys will all know. The curious amongst you will all know by now. This seems like a pretty good spot to bet twice, right? He probably doesn't have anything too good. We could bet 3 times, I suppose, is what we'll be doing here. So I guess 55, 60, both seem reasonable. If he calls here again, we'll probably be betting on every river. So I guess maybe not every river, but this certainly seems like a good one. Certainly a better one for us than it is for him. He bet pot last time and was purely bluffing, I'll point out. So I don't want to bet like exactly pot or anything like that, but still think like 160 maybe. Looks like the good size to me. If he has a 9, I don't necessarily think he's going to fold, but anything worse than a 9 I think has a chance of folding. Maybe not 2 7s, but you know, I think he will probably have raised with hands like 2 8s, 2 7s. We saw him do that earlier, so I don't think he is very strong here. We'll find out momentarily though. Into the time bank we go. Into the time bank we go. I should have some sort of mechanism for like time bankness. All right, nice call. Nice call. Only a pair of 4s. Well, I'm glad that I decided to bluff because I would have thought that hand would have been able to fold by the river. So I'm glad that I tried to bluff. But what could we have done there? Is there anything we could have done? I mean, he called us with bottom pair, which is a good call in this. It was a good call. But is there anything we could have done to get him to fold that hand? Bet more? No, he just, you know, that wouldn't have necessarily made a difference. I don't think we bet too small. Is there anything else that we could have done? No, I think it was okay. I think he just made a good call. I think we all just made good plays. Good plays all around for everybody. Back pats for everybody. So I guess I'm actually going to keep playing here. I feel a little weird not playing for run it up money, playing just for my own money. Not like, you know, I guess not like weird, but like, you know, I feel like I should play for run it up money and not my own money, but, you know, whatever. Once Stan came and played for his own money, then it was over. That was it. The whole world's changed at that point. You know, the wheel got turned, and that's just it. Now we're on a whole different universe. My plan was to check raise all in here, but I actually don't love my plan, to be honest with you. I think I should have just bet flop and didn't, and now I might get punished for it. Let's see what happens here. If he just ships it in our face, I mean, okay. Oh, let's reload for another 250. All right, so we're in for 750. I'm going to wrap this video up right here. I think we're right around that 3-minute mark. If you enjoyed today's video, please let me know about it in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe here to Ultimate Poker's YouTube channel. New videos coming out every single day. Every single day at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. Don't forget, check that out. UltimatePoker.com. You can check it out. RunItUp.tv always has all the videos there, so you can always find them there. And don't forget, that's enough to remember for now. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you back for more 5-10 no limit action tomorrow. Peace. Let's go to Twitter. All I know is Uncle Lorenzo is not happy with me. Get back to playing. All right, that's not a good Uncle Lorenzo impression either. How do they know? I don't get it. How do they know all the time? I took the tenacity lesson out of the quiver and just fired it right in your face. Yellow is an annoying color. You deserve it, bud. Sorry, bro. Next time, pay attention to what you're doing with your life. You just burned $10.